The scions are dying. Let's continue. You've come a long way, so do take your ease while you can. No, I want to continue. I gotta save my friends. Food for the soul. Judging by her sheepish expression, Totoro has a favor to ask. Tiav, could you spare a moment while Kryle goes and finds this expert of hers? There's a gift I was hoping to send to our friends in the first, you see, and since we might be waiting a while, I wondered if you wouldn't mind giving me a hand with it. My first attempt turned out well, so now I'm going to make it properly. I'll be in the kitchen at the House of Splendors. Meet me there. Well, I had better be off too. I shall see you soon, either here or at the house, depending on how our patients fare in my absence. What was the name of this place? They told me the name, but I forgot already. Alright, don't concern ourselves with the affairs of Eorzea, says what is her name? Alianne. Alianne, who has been with us for our adventures since the beginning. Felicie. I remember her, I think, too. News from Corthus talks of naught but the part you played in retaking of the Stone Vigil. I haven't played, I haven't done any of my replay of A Realm Reborn in a while, so that's the main thing I want to keep an eye on, is finding NPCs along the journey. All these people here who are just lowly level 50s. Or less. Where am I going? I'm going over here. Lay a finger on any of the splendors and I'll cut it off. Ooh, okay. There was a glowy wall there a second ago. Are we going upstairs? Here she is. She's in the kitchen. With a chef's hat on. There you are, Tia. As I'm sure you've guessed, the gift is a bit of home cooking. Unlike Kryle, I can't do much to help our friends directly, but that doesn't mean I've been idle. Wait a minute, didn't you learn how to be what do you call him? Not an astrologian. The other one. With the book. Scholar? Didn't you learn how to be a scholar? I remember you running around with a carbuncle once, Totoro. You're not as helpless as you would lead us to believe. Anyway, I've been doing my best for the Order, taking on this job and that to keep our coffers full. I've even helped out with the Ishgardian restoration. And in the course of all this, my culinary skills have come on quite a bit, so I thought, why not make something for our friends? It's baking in the oven even as we speak. Shouldn't be long now. You just thought of this? They've been away for months, weeks, something. There! Baked to perfection, even if I do say so myself. It's bread. Sliced bread. Your cake looks like bread. Meow, 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 meow. It is bread, silly! And not just any old bread. This here is old world bread. Archon loaf, to be precise. It's what they eat over in Sharlayan. Simple fare, I admit, but I thought it would remind our friends of home. If nothing else, Kryle tells me it's a good source of ether. So it should lend them a bit of strength, at least. Oh, well, why didn't you say that in the first place? There truly is nothing like the smell of bread fresh from the oven. Kryle, And if it isn't Rambrose, too. Rambrose? Who's this now? I trust you require no introductions either, Tiov. I actually have no memory of who this is, so maybe do introduce me. Greetings, my friend. Full glad am I to see you well. I confess I have a long list of questions to ask you, but I will endeavor to contain my curiosity for the present. I understand our mutual friend is struggling with the application of certain Allagan technologies. Who is this? I have been keeping Rambrose apprised of the events in the first. Suffice it to say, he knows about the Exarch. If anyone alive can provide insight into this matter, it is him and his fellow sons. Ahem. Loath as I am to disappoint you after so glowing an endorsement, memory transference was the sole province of Allagan royalty, its mechanisms closely guarded secrets. If any record of them remains, we have yet to find it. To wit, I regret that I can offer no solution to your problem. Which begs the question of why I bothered to come here, empty-handed as I am. The answer being, rather brazenly, to ask a favor. I would have you relay a message to our comrade. Huh? Tell him that we never doubted him. Never doubted that he would achieve all that he said he would. Those of us who remained behind have yet to play our part. But when the time comes, he may rest easy in the knowledge that we will most assuredly do so. And then the tower shall shine once more as a beacon of hope in this world and beyond. So tell him that we consider his duty done, and that he should follow his heart now. Forgive me, but do you say this to discourage him from overexerting himself, or to encourage him to hold nothing back? That is for our friend to decide, but either way, I dare say a certain someone will be unimpressed. Well, there you have it, Tiov. If you would be so good as to see Rambrose's message and Taturu's bread to their intended recipients, along with my report, of course. Okay. Kryle, before I wrap the bread up, would you mind giving it a try, just to make sure everything's as it should be? Oh, but of course, I'm always happy to lend my taste buds. And she died instantly. Excuse me, Rambrose. As a fellow Charlayan, may I trouble you for your opinion? Well, I usually have mine with a good dollop of Rollenberry jam, but I suppose plain is best for sampling purposes. There won't be any left. Huh? Munch, munch, munch. I see. And then he died too. Oh no, is it that bad? It is indeed, Turu, dense and unpleasant, exactly as it should be. Ah, ha, ha, just so, the very taste of home. As you might expect, our countrymen have amassed a wealth of culinary wisdom from every corner of the world, but our native cuisine is, shall we say, a little lacking. In Charlayan, the majority regard food as a source of nourishment rather than enjoyment. Save for those few who actually research the culinary arts, we pay little heed to the niceties of taste and texture. It was against such gastronomic landscape that what is now called the Archon loaf was born, the creation of an Archon who devoted himself to the study of bodily sustenance. In order to maximize its nutritional value, he incorporated copious quantities of pulverized fish and vegetable matter into the dough, all with nary a care for those qualities which make bread enjoyable. The result is a flavor that continues to defy description. Yet for its many shortcomings, the loaf's nutritional value cannot be denied, and being a damnably convenient way to cater to one's bodily needs, it quickly found an audience amongst busy scholars.
Why, when I was a lad, nigh every meal was a sandwich made with this very bread, and whatever ingredients happened to be on hand.
I suspect just about every Archon could say the same. Having been away from home for so long, I thought I might have forgotten the taste. But no, it is all too familiar. Ah, how it takes me back.
If there is enough, perhaps you can spare some for the Exarch. He is certain to appreciate it.
Oh, there's plenty to go around. I'll be sure to wrap up an extra slice. Tiav, when you deliver the loaf, please be sure to send everyone my regards. Tell them we're doing everything we can, and that we'll be praying for their safe return until the moment they get back.
Okay. You know, I still haven't delivered that message from Flemon to Reen yet. Flemon wanted me to give a message to Reen, but I haven't done that yet. Spoken to Reen many times, but still haven't delivered any messages. Is she still out here? Sad and lonely.
The time for dwelling on the past has ended. Indeed, if I am to be of help to you and the Archons, I must look toward the future. I have no doubt the road before you is perilous, but remember, you do not walk alone, my friend. Oh, thanks, Flemon.
I actually don't know how to pronounce her name at all. I feel like every time I hear it out loud, it's pronounced differently. Why am I running? I can just teleport there. Back to Norvrent. To the Crystarium. To deliver some bread. You can tell the people who have recently been through Heavensward because they've still got that dragon floating around behind them. Becklug is still here.
Ah, you are returned. Good, good. There is much to discuss. The others are making their way hither as we speak.
Welcome back, my friend. How was your journey? It was good. I got some bread. It's created by an Archon who devoted himself to the study of sustenance. This bread infused with pulverized fish and vegetable is extremely nutritious, assuming one can get past the taste.
Have some bread.
By the 12, Archon loaf! However did you come by this? I'd swear it had come straight from Charlayan.
Meow, 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 meow.
Rambros said that, did he? Oh, his words are very nearly as heavy as the bread, but I appreciate the sentiment. Should you have the chance, you may tell him that he needn't worry. That which I seek to do, I do of my own volition, and with all my heart. In pursuing this path, I fully expect to earn the censure of our friends, and to deserve it, but I shall forge on regardless. The censure? That sounds bad. Forge on as you yourself did when faced with a similar predicament, so I ask that you have faith in me, in what we do. But we were talking about your journey. Before the others arrive, I would hear how their bodies fare. Not good. Oh, and the bread I shall save for later. Though it has been many years, I have not forgotten the feats of mastication required to consume it, nor how unconducive they are to conversation. The Gang's all here, except Ishtolo.
Forgive the delay.
We have visited every region and confirmed the presence of Ascians throughout the realm.
Oh, really?
Lest a grave predicament be made to seem hopeless, it should be noted that they are of inferior rank. The black-masked minions who answer to the Red.
Yes, a gaggle of schemers attempting to exploit recent events, to sow the seeds of petty conflict. Fortunately, nothing of any great concern has come of their meddling just yet.
We also encountered a number of the Crystarium's former defenders, busily solving this problem and that in a bid to become warriors of light.
Their zeal is to be applauded. It is but a pity I cannot encourage them on their course.
Not knowing Elidibus set them upon it, no. Both the troubles to be solved and the villains to be vanquished are his doing too, like as not. And so, with apologies to the aspiring warriors of light, I believe it best that we deal with the Ascians quickly and quietly.
I quite agree.
But tell us, what news from the source? How fare our bodies?
It's not great, Alphino.
I'm sorry, but things have taken a turn for the worse.
Meow, 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 meow.
Oh dear. Then we must redouble our efforts. Not that we've ever stinted in that regard.
This would seem an appropriate moment to ask about the spirit vessel. Tell me you've made some progress.
We have, as it happens. One moment.
The red stones. Then this doth mean...
For the benefit of all, permit us to explain. As you will recall, using white auracite as our starting point, we fashioned a vessel for mind and memory both. Yet, though it served this purpose admirably, the process of imbuing it with one's complete essence proved a somewhat thornier proposition. Simply put, the memory would not accompany the mind. And so, we looked to the Allagan's mastery of memory transference for a solution.
How do they test all this? Do they have, like, are they testing on animals back in their lab somewhere?
This approach was not without its own complications, however, relying as it does upon blood, which inanimate objects, notably, do not possess. We duly explored methods of suffusing the vessel with drops of the aforementioned. Alas, our painstaking experimentation succeeded only in making me feel faint, and singularly failed to imbue the crystal with the necessary properties.
Ah, that's what I suggested he do. My suggestion was useless. Just bleeding all over them wasn't enough, apparently.
It was then that an idea occurred to me, namely that we might fuse the vessel not with normal blood, but with my crystallized essence.
You're doing this for our sakes. So far be it from us to complain. But don't think we haven't noticed what's happening to your arm.
It falls well short of offering up my life in exchange for yours, which was your only stipulated prohibition, as I recall. And it is but a small price to pay for delivering you home.
Assuming it works.
It's hard to feel sorry for him, because he did basically kidnap them. So it seems like he should do something to send him back.
We shall soon know if this grisly addition will serve as a suitable conduit for the subject's memory. Though not soon enough to warrant your waiting. The test is like to take a while.
Oh, but what are we testing? Who is testing? How does that work?
Let us be off then. We have Ascians to attend to, among other things.
Let me guess, this testing process is going to take exactly 3 more patches.
Forgive me, but I count 6 vessels, and there are only 5 of us.
I thought that count was off.
1 is for testing purposes. I will personally use it to see whether the crystal functions as it should.
And if it does, wouldn't that mean that your soul could also return to the source?
Yes. In theory, at least. But there is a distinct difference between your circumstances and mine. While your corporeal forms want for souls, my past self does not. Mayhap our essences would blend, or mayhap they would curdle. There is no telling what might occur.
We could go ask him, see what he thinks.
And you'd be willing to take that risk?
I would.
I see.
Shouldn't you go ask the other one? Why is she so upset? Well, I mean... So there's a number of ethical problems here. I mean, for one thing, I think they're saying that this test the Crystal Exarch is going to do is potentially going to destroy his other self and him simultaneously. Which is a little bit intrusive, I would say, to the younger Graha Tia. It does seem like we should go and, maybe ask him if he wants to commit his body to this experiment. Also, I was just thinking about this. I hadn't really thought about this in this terms before, but he did basically kidnap them all against their will and force them to do his bidding. So in a way, all of these people here, all the Scions are they're laboring under Stockholm Syndrome, I guess. They should view the Crystal Exarch as their captor. They should not have any sympathy for him whatsoever. Anyway, let's move on. I, for one, support the Exarch's choice. To be alive is to be driven by a purpose, and few are as driven as him, says Thancred. What do you think, Reen?
It's stupid, but I've never really stopped to think about what would happen once the vessels were complete. And now... Oh, yeah. No, there's no point. I hope the test is a success, truly. Yeah, we're gonna leave you all alone, Reen. What do you think, Alizé? What are you so upset about? I'm sorry, I know it was childish to storm off like that, and probably to feel the way I do as well. Pull yourself together, Alizé. When our grandfather first decided to journey to Eorzea, Alizé did not take kindly to my silence on the subject. Don't pretend to understand things you don't, she said. Or rather, shouted.
Having oft been the subject of her scorn, I am predisposed to sympathize with the Exarch, but I do understand how she feels. Better now than I ever did, certainly. I'm not sure I fully understood why she's upset. Is she upset because the Crystal Exarch might kill himself, sending them back? Is that why she's upset? It doesn't really make a lot of sense, but given that we since I just previously discussed the fact that they're all basically captives of him. Anyway. Hast thou a moment, Tiav? I would speak with thee on the matter of the Exarch's mooted return unto the source. Thou wilt have observed that our friend spake not in certainties, yet if Beck-Lug hath the right of it, 'tis possible to predict the outcome of his plan with some confidence. And it is their assessment that, given the opportunity, the Exarch's soul should successfully merge with that of his younger self. Which is not to say the process is without complications. For one, the Exarch hath been subjected to an additional rejoining, an experience which will have wrought a change in his ethereal composition. As thou thyself didst demonstrate in merging with Ardbert, however, there existeth an affinity twixt like souls, and this doth give us cause to hope. Yet there remaineth one immutable condition upon which success doth hinge. The Exarch must needs recognize his past self as simply that, himself. As our recent travails have demonstrated, memories are essential to the soul. Any discrepancy in the former may feasibly cause the latter to spurn its former flesh. 'Tis a seemingly simple yet complex problem. For nigh on a century our friend hath striven only to deliver this realm, to deliver thee, and to that singular end did he cast aside his very name, that he might assume the mantle of the Crystal Exarch. Henceforth, none can say what choices our friend will make, but I thought it only right that thou be made aware of these truths. What does that mean? What am I supposed to make of any of that? Well, thanks for telling me, Urianger, I guess. Okay, well... Speaking of merging souls, I'm standing here on top of another player.